Lust is more than just a fleeting thought, right? It's something that literally starts very innocent, but it compounds into this very powerful force that makes you spiral out of control. Would you guys agree? It's always like that, right? It starts with watching, porn or seeing something, and then now it leads you to like going on this website and even leading you to doing things in the bedroom that you normally wouldn't do, and it spirals. It's very devastating. And obviously the Bible, it constantly warns us about this danger of lust, right? Lust of envy, lust of hate, lust of the eyes, lust of jealousy, right? It's lust. Lust is a big thing. It's not just like shame that comes with it. Lives have been broken because of it. It's an actual addiction. Marriages have been ruined. All kinds of stuff. Like I said, lust always begins very innocent. Just a glance, just a thought, right? Or a moment of curiosity, let's say. But at the end of it, it's always this consuming fire that just engulfs you and takes your whole life by storm. That's what lust does, and that's why lust is so dangerous. But fear not, right? Because God actually gives us tools to overcome lust. So when you do look at, like I talked about earlier, when you look at 1 Corinthians 6:18, it tells us to flee from sexual immorality. Flee means to run away from it. Like I said, being in a gang, I've been shot at, I've been stabbed, I've seen moments where people come in and it's the wrong people, right? And they're your enemies and they want to jump you. It's the same way we should be treating lust. We must run or you'll lose your life to the lust, right? Just like gunshots, you'll lose your life. Just like getting jumped, you'll lose. When you see, you must take off. So Genesis chapter 39 talks about this very clearly, right? It talks about Joseph and Potiphar's wife. So if we look at Genesis chapter 39, Joseph is in Egypt and he's living in the Pharaoh's house because the Pharaoh loves him. But if you look at verse 7, Genesis 39 verse 7, it says, "And it came to pass after these things that his master's wife cast her eyes upon Joseph, and she said, 'Lie with me.'" Verse 8, "But he refused and said unto his master's wife, Behold, my master wotteth not what is with me in the house, and he hath committed all that he had into my hand. 9, There is none greater in this house than I, neither hath he kept anything from me but thee, because thou art his wife. How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against God?" What is the first step that Joseph does? Joseph thinks about Pharaoh. He doesn't think about himself. That's why I was telling you guys, step 1, right? Think about others above yourself is how you overcome lust. That's the cheat code to everything. This is the cheat code to everything, to overcoming any addiction, because lust is an addiction. Overcoming selfishness, overcoming narcissism is just to think about other people highly. Think about the people you love above yourself, right? Think about love above. So he thought about Pharaoh and he could not sleep with her. No matter how pretty, Potiphar's wife was probably a baddie. But why didn't he sleep with her? Because he understood the task. He thought about God's heart, he thought about Pharaoh's heart, and he thought about himself last. But what do? We tend to think about ourselves first. Oh, I feel like this. Oh, my flesh feels this. Remember, guys, the difference between love and lust is only one thing. Love is selfless, meaning I think about the other people. What did my wife do today? Did she eat? Okay, let me get her some food. Is she tired? You know what? Let me give her a massage. You think about someone. That's love. Selfless. But lust is always selfish. Facts. Meaning, I look at her, I want to know what she could do for me. That's what lust is. I wonder if she's going to do that for me. I wonder how it would be if we went X, Y, and Z together. That's the difference. So if you're searching for a man or a woman, the first thing you must see is, do they have love in their heart, which is they're selfless, thinking about others? Or do they have lust in their heart, where it's like, damn girl, when are we going to do this? When are you going to do that for me? When are you going to send this picture to me and do this for me? And do X, Y, and Z for me. Right then and there, you'll know, this man is not here for me. He's here for him. Amen. And that's literally how relationships can get better, or how you get into a successful relationship under God. Is it fueled by love, or is it fueled by lust? Is it fueled by selflessness, or is it fueled by selfishness? Sheesh, that's a bar and a clippy. That's the biblical way of having a relationship. This is the biblical way of having a relationship. So going back to the point here, if you look at the story of Joseph and Potiphar's wife, it's really powerful because when he's faced with temptation, he didn't try to reason with it. He ran. Different R's. He explained to her by thinking about her husband, which is Pharaoh, and then he ran. Verse 12. And she caught him by his garment, saying, lie with me. And he left his garment in his hand and fled and got him out. So what did he do? He ran. This is exactly how he was able to fight the lust. And God recorded this in the Bible in order to fight the lust. So if you're struggling with lust, there's a worldly way to solve it, but there's also a spiritual way to solve it. And when you solve things spiritually, it bleeds into your flesh. It bleeds into your mental, bleeds into your physical, and it bleeds into your emotional as well. So if you're smart, you'll follow the Bible and what it says on how to combat lust.